It's time for Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. Let's head to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Calling the action tonight alongside Rod Higley, here's NCW Life Channel Sports Director Eric Grandstrom.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Lee Bofto Field here at the Apple Bowl, and it's time for lacrosse for 2018, along with Rod Higley. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Rod, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Glad to be back at Lacrosse Field, that's for sure.
Well, the big question coming into this season is how do you replace guys like Nathan McCarthy and Kyle Schmaltz and Cole Loomis, some of the big keys to last year's run to the Elite Eight?
Yeah, that's a tough call. You know, those guys, Cole Loomis with his leadership and his speed, Nate was just such a presence on the field, his big body. I don't think you can replace them. It's going to be a little bit different with these guys, but there's some seniors that are going to step up this year, and then some younger guys are going to play a lot this year too.
Well, we saw that last year with a lot of the younger guys getting a lot of playing time and getting that crucial varsity experience well into the playoffs. How does that benefit them as they come into this year?
Well, you know, they're juniors now, most of them, and the juniors that are now seniors, they're comfortable. They've been in this position, so I think they're going to play great. There's some new faces on the team too. Jake Strom doing face-offs, and he's a fantastic player. He's back from a big knee surgery, but he's going to take most of the face-offs, I think, and he'll play real well. I'd look for, you know, Roby Jorgensen and the other seniors to really step up this year too.
Now, you've been around the program for a long time. You've been around lacrosse for the state for quite a while. What do you know about, if anything, about Southridge?
Well, Southridge last year they had a pretty good team. I think they won 10 games. They've got a lot of the same guys. They graduated some big guys from last year, so they may be a little bit smaller, but I think they should score some goals if they can get the ball on the right end of the field. And defense, who knows? I mean, they lost a guy who went to Boise State to play football, so he was a presence last year. So I'm kind of glad that guy's not here. But you know, I don't think this is going to be an easy out by any means. It should be a pretty good team.
Well, it's the start of the season for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, and we're here for it live on the NCW Life Channel. We'll come back and talk with Coach Brandon Parker as we continue on the pregame show right after this timeout. Welcome back once again here to the Apple Bowl as we get ready for our first lacrosse broadcast of the season as the Wenatchee Valley Thunder take on the Southridge team from down in the Tri-Cities. Talking now with Coach Brandon Parker, and our coach's interview brought to you by Heritage Memorial Chapel in East Wenatchee. Well, Coach, first of all, again, congrats on what a run last year. And the first question is, how do you replace guys like Nathan McCarthy and Cole Loomis and Kyle Schmaltz?
Well, thank you. First of all, last year was a fantastic year. You got to ride it with us all the way to the end. 2-goal loss to potentially making the Final Four. Yeah. You don't replace a Cole and a Nathan and anybody that, and Kyle and everybody that graduated last year. So, you know, the best we can do is bring guys into those spots that can hopefully play like they did and hopefully meet those expectations. And you'll never replace them, but hopefully you can have the talent and the heads and the hustle that left, you know. So, and we do. Absolutely.
Well, I know you guys have been practicing since the snow was probably around the field here. How's the practices been going, and are you guys just eager to get this first game under your belt?
Yeah, practices have been fine compared to last year where we couldn't get on the field because of snow and we were practicing in a gym. Practices have been great. You know, last year's team is fairly, most of them have returned. A lot of the things we went over last year and things we coached, they picked up right away, right at the beginning of the year. And we've just been fine-tuning the offense, the defense, you know, the rides, the clears, all the strategy, and they are ready to go. I mean, this is going to be very exciting, and it'll be fun to talk to you afterwards to see your opinion on what you saw last year versus what you're seeing right now. So. Well,
from where we started last year to where we got midway through the season, the thing that impressed me the most was passing, and I know that was a tough thing for you guys last year because you're in a gym, you weren't able to get out here, and that's crucial to this game, isn't it?
Oh, well, absolutely, yeah. Catching and throwing and ground balls are the most critical pieces of lacrosse. You got to be able to pick the ball up when it's on the ground. You have to be able to pass and catch, or else you're not playing lacrosse. So It's difficult to do, and the best of the best will have trouble passing and catching sometimes, but we practice the fundamentals, we practice the basics, and I haven't seen a lot of that. We'll always see the ball going out of bounds, but they've been pretty proficient with their passing and their fundamentals. So,
Final question for you. What do we know about Southridge coming into this?
Well, I don't personally know anything. I know what the history has been. They've had teams that have been really good, very good competition. We've had close games with them. So, they had a record that was a winning record last year, 9-4, I believe, overall. They've always had a good team. So I don't anticipate this being a walkover or an easy game for us. So, but I don't know. I don't have a scouting report. It's the first, beginning of the year. We don't know. They haven't played anybody else. I haven't got to see game film. I haven't heard about previous records. So all I have to go by is what the history has shown, and it's always been a good matchup.
Well, for most important, keep everybody healthy and have fun, which I know the guys will, and we'll talk to you afterwards.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys doing this, as always.
Brandon Parker joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back and get the lineups and get you ready for the face-off. It's Wenatchee Valley against Southridge coming up next on the NCW Live channel. And welcome back. We are ready for face-off here. It's Jake Reiner getting the face-off for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, and he'll go up against Hayden Brinberry for Southridge. Brinberry, one of about four that Southridge will throw out there in the face-off position. We'll get you the rest of the lineups here as we go, as we're ready for lacrosse here on the Wenatchee's television station, the NCW Live channel. Along with Rod Higley, I'm Eric Granstrom. The battle for the face-off continues. Wenatchee was in good shape for a moment, and the ball still loose. And Wenatchee will come up with it, as it's Ben Higley who will have the ball here, as they'll make some substitutions on the fly. Coming in off the bench will be Mason Dahlbeck to get in that offensive set here for the Thunder, as Gray Coldy had it around the left side, and they'll bring it back out top into the hands of Mason Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck feeding inside in front. And here's a shot in close, just off the mark by Gray Coldy, and it is Southridge making the stop as their goalie steps up and makes the stop. Hayden Greenall is the goalie for Southridge. They get it up to midfield. Yuri Slutsky is with the ball in hand, has it swatted away from him. It's loose on the ground, and Reiner was after it, and let's see who's going to come up with it. And it is Wenatchee Valley.
Easton Hudson with the ball.
Hudson the long stick, but he lost the stick, lost the handle over there, but he had some help from a teammate, as Ben Higley does a nice job of collecting that loose ball on the far sideline as they try to work it into the box here. As it goes back behind the goal crease, Connor Tilley with it. Tilley, one of those mainstays from last year's squad, gets in close, lost the handle on the ball, tried to sweep it outside. It's still loose, and it goes towards the goal crease, and that's where Greenall will pick it up and make the defensive stop here for Southridge.
I think Wenatchee needs to just settle down a little bit and be a little patient with the ball.
Again, if you're just tuning in and seeing lacrosse for the first time, 10 guys per side here. They, like similar to ice hockey, will make a substitution on the fly. You have to keep 3 people on the offensive end of the field, so past midfield. The rest can drop back defensively for both teams. So you've got 3 Wenatchee Valley players, 3 Wenatchee Valley players, 3 Southridge players, plus their goalie back behind the 50-yard line or midfield here at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Southridge setting up the offense here as they swing it to back and forth between Brinberry and Monson. Brinberry now going to approach as he is cut off there nicely by the defense. The pass outside, ball is loose, coming out towards midfield, chasing it down back there is Hayden Brinberry, and it is Peyton Monson who comes up with it, the midfielder for Southridge. Wenatchee doing a pretty good job defensively. The ball loose in front of the goal crease, and Wenatchee picks it up. Nice job by that's
Cole Hansen.
Cole Hansen with it. He'll flip it out to the long stick of Sage Kreider. Kreider in close. He'll feed the shot.
Nice shot.
The goal. Wenatchee on the board first. Gray Coldy with the first strike for Wenatchee with 9:12 to go here in the first quarter.
The defenders really set that up. Cole Hansen out to Sage, and Sage found Gray on the corner there. So nice unsettled goal by Wenatchee.
Nice job on the stop of the defensive crease, getting that loose ball, and then quick transition.
Yep, defense to offense.
So Gray Coldy here in the first quarter gives our first score of the game, 1-0 Wenatchee Valley, as they'll bring it out for the faceoff. And this time it will be Jake Strom out there on the faceoff for Wenatchee against Hayden Brimberry. You're telling me before we came back from the commercial break, you were a little surprised to see Reiner out there.
Yeah, Jake Strom is he's played at a very high level. He's coming off a major knee surgery, but he's a premier faceoff guy.
You see that big brace on his left knee. I assume that must be the knee you're talking about.
Yep.
The ball squirts between his legs, and he's got some help. Teammate coming back there. It's Easton Hudson who will pick it up and run up the far sideline.
He needs a little help, it looks like. No.
Oh, nice dink there as he keeps it. And now looking to fire, and he does. The ball will go past the end line. And in lacrosse, the team that's closest to the end line when the ball goes across the end line gets to keep the ball. So this time it's Wenatchee Valley. And here comes Tilly again. Boy, he likes to sneak up behind that goal crease, doesn't he? Feeds out front. The shot taken by Roby Jorgensen's off the mark a little high, but will stay with the Wenatchee Valley Thunder.
As long as they're backed up, those are okay to take those shots.
8:59 to go as the ball comes into the hands of Ben Higley. He feeds out front. Ben maybe had a crease to go for a shot there. Ball defended, though, and it's in the long stick now of Wyatt Schaefer.
It's ball down.
For Southridge. Here's a loose ball again. Boy, we've had quite a few here in the first quarter.
Yeah, they're going to need to hustle to get this ball back up the field.
Yeah, you've got so many seconds. 10 seconds to get it out of your end, right?
Then you got to get it back in the box over here in 30 seconds, so they've got a little bit of time still.
The far side is Hayden Brimberry. He's the coach's son, and now we've got Whistle.
I didn't see the call.
Didn't see a call, just a whistle for the stoppage. By the way, our officials here today, Ryan Walker is our referee, Steve Junker, the other official here today. And very similar to football, where if there's a penalty, they'll throw a flag, and then players will serve a penalty in the penalty box, 1 to 2 minutes. I guess we've seen, a 3-minute penalty for equipment violation.
Yeah, the referee has a discretion on how severe the penalty is.
Brimberry spinning around at the 30-yard line. He'll feed out in front, but good job by the defense again. Double team down in front. The ball goes past the end line. It'll be to the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. Boy, good to see the good defense here early season, Ron.
You know, these defenders are experienced. I mean, they were all sophomores last year, but, Cole Hansen, Jax Tucker, and Sage Kreider, all very experienced playing D.
Kyle Robertson is the goalie for Wenatchee Valley. He did a great job last year to help Wenatchee Valley get all the way to the Elite Eight. His pass outside, though, nearly got away, and it does trickle here near the sideline. It does go out of bounds off of the stick of Roby Jorgensen.
Turnovers will kill you in this game. I mean, that it really can change so quickly when the ball gets turned over down on their own end.
Got 2 turnovers unofficially here for Southridge in the early going. 1 for Wenatchee Valley. Brimberry again out in front trying to size up a shot. Instead, he'll try to pass it, and it will trickle out of bounds past the end line. And another turnover here for Southridge.
Well, that's good for Wenatchee. They're just sending it right back to them.
Absolutely. So the ball will go into the stick of Kyle Robertson here as he'll work it out slowly as Wenatchee Valley makes a substitution as Roby Jorgensen gets back in after a brief respite on the sideline. Cole Hansen collects it on the far side, comes across midfield. He'll lob it up ahead, but a little bit high, and Higley trying to race after it.
He might get it.
He's got the speed to chase it down. How about that for Ben? Now he'll spin. Defenders come, so he'll pass it out back behind the goal crease. Spinning back there is Gray Coldy, who's got Wenatchee Valley's goal in this one. He'll back it away as the defense comes for Southridge. Nice job of recovering there by Southridge.
Yes.
Pass out top into the stick of Mason Dahlbeck, and he'll fire, and it will go past the end line. A little bit high and right on that shot. Wenatchee Valley, though, maintains possession with the closest player to the end line as it goes across the end line. Here again comes Coldy. Oh, a nice feed for Reiner out front. A little bit too tall, but Reiner got it back. He's pestered from behind, tried to pass it out, and he is clubbed in front. And now we got a flag down, and Reiner's slow to get up. Goodness gracious, what a hit by Yuri Slutsky for Southridge, and he will spend some time in the penalty box.
Yeah, I was watching the ball, so I didn't see the hit on Jake, but that's a big kid walking off the field right now.
Goodness. So the penalty here, the official comes near side and says it is cross-check to the head region and 2 minutes.
Non-releasable.
And so even if Wenatchee Valley scores, that means he will still have to stay in the penalty box. So an egregious penalty there, I guess, if you will, here coming against Southridge. So what that means is, like in ice hockey, they play a man down here for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, and also you only have 5 minutes of personal fouls there too. So he's got 2
huge.
Already. Yeah, so
that's huge. So Ben Higley, number 3, has it here on the near side of the 15-yard line. He'll come out to the 20, pass behind the goal crease, get it back on the pass, and now we'll bring it back out top as it is Dahlbeck with it. Dahlbeck looked at the shot. Instead, they'll pass it away as they work it down back behind to Connor Tilley. Tilley working as Southridge just sags all the bodies right around the goal area here. As they get it back to Tilley, then outside it comes. Here's a wicked shot for the right side, a little bit too low, though, by Roby Jorgensen. I think Roby was one I was looking at from last year coming to this year that might have to take over some of the scoring that they lost from graduation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Roby's the biggest guy in the field for Wenatchee. He's not as fast as Cole Loomis by any means, but he's got a great right and left-handed shot.
Great Colby right there, and almost got the goal, hit the upright.
That was Tilley. Tilley.
Excuse me, Tilley, with that shot that nearly got in there.
Yeah.
And they're going to say the ball goes out of bounds off of Wenatchee Valley here, so it will be Southridge ball. I asked some of the players, they said, well, I know Southridge High School is the Suns. Do you go by the Suns? And they said, nope, just Southridge, because we've got some Kennewick, Kamaikan, Southridge players on the team here for Southridge.
A lot of these lacrosse, ball down.
Nice job of stripping that from behind. Let's see if Wenatchee Valley can come up with it. They do. Jackson Bowles comes up with it for the Thunder as he gets some time here on the offensive set. He'll pass it outside to Jorgensen, then collect it back, and we get a whistle. And we're going to get a timeout on the field here with 5:23 to go here in the first quarter of play. Wenatchee Valley up by a score of 1-0. And we'll take a 30-second break and come back as well here as you're watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. We'll come back right after this. So Greg Holdy with Wenatchee Valley's the lone score in the game so far. That came at the 9:12 mark here of the first quarter. We're 5:23 remaining. The timeout called by Wenatchee Valley. Rod, tell me about the thought process behind getting a timeout there.
Well, I think they've got about a little less than a minute left in the penalty, so they're probably just trying to figure out what they want to do with the ball. They've got lots of time still, but they want to get a good look, not just fire the first shot that comes along. So that's my guess. That they're going to try and get the ball, work the ball around a little bit, and get the guys watching the ball a little bit, and then get a nice clean shot.
There's 4 quarters that we play here. We do have a halftime after the second quarter, so similar to football in that regard, as Wenatchee Valley still plays with a man up here, as the big fella is still in the penalty box here for the Southridge. Yuri Slutsky in the penalty box, and now the ball over on the right side, far sideline here. They get it into the net of Higley. He'll pass it down behind the goal crease, coming around as they'll flip it back out front. Jorgensen with the shot. It looked like it got across the goal crease, and the official still waiting. Yes, it's in. Goal for Wenatchee. Nice shot by Roby Jorgensen. Kind of ricocheted around before it went in.
Off the side pipe, and the goalie almost stopped it, but not quite. Yeah, it was a good left-handed shot by Roby. And that's what they wanted to do. They worked the ball around, worked it back to Roby, and he got a good clean shot.
5:10 remaining here in the first quarter. Wenatchee Valley up to a 2-0 lead here. And again, Southridge still until that penalty winds out, playing a man down. So at the face-off, Hayden Brimberry will go back out there, and he'll face off against Jake Strom for Wenatchee Valley. Jake, a junior out there, getting playing time here for the Thunder. The officials waiting for everybody to get set as they put their lacrosse sticks down They need to be vertical to the stripe there at midfield, and then he'll blow the whistle, and then you can lean in and try to get it. And the dig there for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, nicely done behind the legs, and Alan Butcherite comes up with it. The ball on the pass, a little sly there, but Higley comes up with it for Wenatchee Valley. Tilley now back behind the goal crease. Will wait for everybody to change hands here as Reiner comes in along with Jorgensen for Wenatchee Valley. Back to Reiner. Reiner left side. It will go. And here's a shot almost between the wickets. A nice attempt there by Gray Coley trying to get his second goal of the game. It goes across the end line. Tilley will bring it back in play for Wenatchee Valley.
None of these guys are afraid to shoot the ball.
No, definitely not. Again, Tilley with a shot with that sling from the left side with the right-handed swoop, and it almost gets in there. We get a whistle as Southridge makes the rebound, and a timeout taken by Southridge here. So we'll take another 30-second break and come back as we have 4:29 to go here in this first quarter. Wenatchee Valley on top 2-0 over Southridge. We're back after this on the NCW Live Channel. Thanks for joining us for Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse tonight here on the NCW Live Channel. First of our 5 broadcasts that will telecast here this season during the regular season. Coming up next Saturday, we'll have Wenatchee hosting Hermiston. And then the following Saturday, on March 31st, it'll be Chiawana at Wenatchee. And then later on in April 14th, we'll have Wenatchee and Central Valley on a Saturday at 2 o'clock here at the Apple Bowl. Our last regular season game will be Mount Si at Wenatchee on April 21st. And, of course, hoping for a shot at some postseason as well here on the NCW Live Channel.
That's the plan, yeah. Those are some, some good games. Mount Si should be a real good game as a team from Kinko Conference, 4A school. Chiawana was not real good last year, but Hermiston's the one that you really don't know much about because they're new to the league this year.
Okay.
So it's hard to say what they may be like.
So it'll be Southridge ball. And let's see who has it. It is back in the backfield here near side. Hayden Brambury, coach's son with it, spinning and working against the defense of Gray Coldy as he gets it across the midfield stripe. They only have so long to get it up here the near side. Almost knocked out of bounds. Nice attempt here near side. They get it inside the box, and so now the clock is off. And so now they can run their offense as Brimbury waits for a couple of substitutions. Off the bench flying comes Mason Lubinski. Number 21 comes onto the field turf here. As we wind our way down with under 4 minutes to go in this first quarter of play. 2-0 Wenatchee Valley on top. Brimbury spitting back behind the goal. Good defense there by Wenatchee. Ooh, he had a man right in front of the crease, but the ball pass a little bit too high will go out of bounds, and another turnover. 4 unofficially here against Southridge in this first quarter of play.
Boy, the Wenatchee defense looks nice and stout. Jack Myers, number 80, he's a senior this year, and Alan Butcherite, the sophomore, was out there.
They were trying to get it to Ryan Barley. He's a big target for Southridge right in front of the crease, but somehow they threw it too high for him. And he looks like he's about 6'2".
Yeah.
And Wenatchee Valley trying to get it across the midfield stripe. Mason Dahlbeck does the duties here as they'll bring it up the near side to the 30. They're trying. I think he got a foot inside the box, so Wenatchee Valley good on the timing here. But just in case, I think I heard a buzzer down on the field. Roby Jorgensen got his foot in there. And now the shot, and ricocheting off the front of the goalie. Nice job by Greenall to make a stop there. Wenatchee Valley, though, maintains possession. Higley brings it back outside left to Coldy. Gray works it in, and then they flip it back outside, out top to Dahlbeck, who will switch it off to Jorgensen. Roby on the drive left side. He'll spin away, keep that ball and the stick in hand away from the defender, off to Reiner. Now Jake on the drive. He'll maybe shoot with the left hand. Whoops. He does, but it's stuck in that net a little bit further than he wanted to, and it goes sailing out of bounds, but Wenatchee Valley will maintain possession.
You know, they really need to try and get their hands clear to get a good shot on that, and he had a guy right on him.
So, again, it's Tilley with the ball behind as he'll run kind of a point. Ooh, almost with a shot on the left side. Back there to retrieve it is Higley. Ben working against the defense back there by Jamison Sorensen. And now Wenatchee Valley, there's a shot and a goal right in front. Nice play. Mason Dahlbeck with his first tally of the season for Wenatchee Valley. They grab a 3-0 lead with 2:24 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a good look. Ben had a nice pass to him, and Mason buried it. nice to see Mason get one here early.
So 3-0, Wenatchee Valley on top in their first official game of the season. This is considered a non-league game here? Or is this
this is a league game. They count this a league game, but since Southridge is 3A, it doesn't count as far as who goes to the playoffs.
Okay, so your standings as far as the 4A level is concerned. Here's the face-off. Reiner doing it again. This time, though, the ball loose. Jake got it back. Nice job. Nice hustle. Stay with it no matter what. Jake Reiner will come near side as they'll go back behind the goal crease again to Tilley. He'll wait for bodies to come, and here off the bench with the shot. It hit the upright. Ricochets out. Reiner trying to chase it down.
That was a good shot.
Hard.
Sammy Arredondo with that shot.
That was beautiful. Arredondo
wants it again.
Got it. Yeah, he's right there, right in front of the goal crease. Tilley can't find him, though. He'll bring it back outside to Reiner. Reiner will flip it across over into the stick of Lucas Job. And now they'll go down in the corner. The ball nearly lost away there. Greg Coldy getting pestered back there, but still has it in his right hand. Spinning and almost was able to stuff it in there. We get a whistle, and they're going to say it's over to Southridge.
I don't know if they called it crease ball violation on that. Was Gray in the circle
Possibly.
there?
So you'll see that blue circle that's around the goal crease there area. Well, that's considered the goal crease. Now, I know the attacking team can't put a foot in there. Right. Can they put their stick in there, though?
No. So that's the goalie's space. If he comes out, the goalie's fair game, but they got an open net.
Another turnover by Southridge right in front with the long stick, and then completely plowed from behind is Easton Hudson, and he is injured on the play. Hudson was the one who got the interception, came up with a loose ball, and now he is absolutely decked to the floor here, and I don't see a flag down.
No, I don't think the ref saw it.
Wow. Just hit like a freight train as his coaching staff comes out to check on him, and they'll bring him to the near sideline, and you got to watch and be careful for concussions here.
You do, and there's a protocol, and so they're going to run him through probably the test. And
Joel Reiner comes running out there to make sure that he's okay. They'll bring him to the sideline and check him out. Easton Hudson. A reminder, our injury timeouts brought to you by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries. So the ball will be Wenatchee Valley's, and it will be over in the... Who's got it? Ben's got it. Higley over in the right corner, trying to help our videographers here. And there's a goal in front. Nice pass from Higley out front to Gray Coldy. His second tally of the match. And Wenatchee Valley grabs a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, it was a nice pass by Ben, and Gray gets his second goal. You worry a little bit because I remember this from last year. Southridge got a little chippy when they got down in some of these games, and some of the after the shot plays is when guys get hurt because they don't have their heads up. Right. So I think Wenatchee needs to keep their heads up in this game.
So Wenatchee Valley with a 4-0 lead here against the team from down in the Tri-Cities, Southridge, as it will be Hayden Brimberry out there along with Wenatchee Valley's Jake Strom on the faceoff. After yet a fourth goal with just a minute one to go here in this first quarter of play. And Strom had the face-off. It's loose, though, still loose, and Southridge comes up with it. As one of their long stickers back there comes up with it. And now we're going to get a whistle with 50.3 seconds. Timeout taken by Southridge. We're going to keep it right here during the timeout since we're so close to the quarter break. And remind you that our broadcast brought to you in part by Wenatchee Valley YMCA for youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. It's the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. And thanks again to Heritage Memorial Chapel for sponsoring our coaches interview and a chat with Brandon Parker before tonight's ball game. A funeral home with a heritage owned by a trusted friend. That's Heritage Memorial Chapel. Just a reminder what's coming up this weekend here on the Wenatchee Valley, the NCW Life Channel. We'll have more hockey tomorrow. The Wenatchee Wild, by the way, up in Vernon. We'll try to get a score for you here in just a little bit as they're playing game one of the second round of the BCHL playoffs, best of 7. We're going to bring you games 2 and 3 of their first round series against Merritt's on a replay tomorrow at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock here on the NCW Life Channel. Then coming up on Sunday, we've got a little mix for you. We'll start things off with Eastmont baseball from last spring against West Valley at noon. That'll be followed by that playoff game for Wenatchee Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse against Issaquah. That'll be at 2 o'clock. At 5, it's game 1 of 2 between Wenatchee and Eisenhower in baseball. That doubleheader coming up at 5 and 7 on Sunday right here on the NCAA Life Channel. We'll be back here again for more lacrosse coming up next Saturday. And I just really was looking forward to doing lacrosse this spring.
Good. I'm glad to have you, man. It's so nice to have the games on TV. The kids love it, and it's nice to get the exposure for the sport. It's such a fun game to watch.
It really is. It really is. It didn't take me, I think it was maybe half of that first game last year, and I'm like, okay, I'm hooked.
It's got a little bit of everything, you know. It's a finesse game, it's a physical game, and it's a speed game, you know. So.
Well, the timeout taken by Southridge, they're second, so they're out of timeouts here for this quarter, I believe. Did they get 2 per quarter?
I thought they got 3 per half, so okay. I'm a little confused as to.
Well, they've got 1 each on the scoreboard out there.
So maybe they just get 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a good timeout. I mean, the defender had the ball, but he was in trouble, so it gives them a chance to kind of position themselves and get control.
Okay, I'm trying to help out my camera crew here. Okay, the ball on the far side as they'll bring that into play here as they quickly get it up to Mason Lubinsky. Lubinsky feeds it right side to the goal creases right by Aiden Gaspar. Gaspar over there, he's picked up and pestered by Sage Kreider defensively as they'll bring it back out with 30 seconds left. They'll reset the offense here. Hayden Brimbury out towards midfield. He'll approach as his teammates move around. He'll sling a shot in, and it will remain Southridge ball as it misses wide right. And Ryan Barley will bring it in over the end line. Down to her right here with 21.3 seconds to go. Barley around the left side as he'll come back outside to Peyton Monson. Monson wants to try to shoot it here. D-vendors come, knock him down, ball loose, flags come out, and that flag will be on Wenatchee Valley, and that will carry over into the second quarter. So something to keep in mind here. Looks like they're going to call the penalty on Wenatchee Valley's Jax Tucker.
30-second technical foul on Jax, yeah.
So that'll carry us into 23 seconds into the second quarter as we just have 7 seconds left here in quarter number 1 with Wenatchee Valley on top 4-0 here on the NCAA Life Channel. Again, far side is Brimbury with it, and I think they'll just hang on to it because then they get possession to start the second quarter, right?
Yeah, yep, that's what they did.
I remembered something from last year. All right, that's the end of the first quarter here. Thanks for joining us with lacrosse tonight here on the NCAA Life Channel. And after 1, it is Wenatchee Valley leading it. 2 goals by Gray Coldy, 1 by Roby Jorgensen, 1 by Mason Dahlbeck. And they lead it 4-0. We'll take a 60-second break and come back here from the Apple Bowl right after this. Welcome back once again to the Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl along with Rod Higley. I'm Eric Granstrom here on the NCAA Life Channel. One thing you'll see if the cameras are out there at center field right now, the officials getting together looking at sticks. I think 1 for Wenatchee and 1 for Southridge. They actually measure the sticks, right, Ron?
Yeah, they measure the width of the mouth and the neck. And the main thing is you can't have a pinched neck stick that holds a ball in there because it gives the player an unfair advantage when he's getting knocked around. So that's the big deal. It looks like he's got his flag out, which scares me a little bit.
Yep. And so the flag comes out.
That's a big penalty.
And they're taking one of the sticks back to Southridge, and I think the one he's holding in his hand unfortunately belongs to Wenatchee Valley.
Yep.
So a 3-minute penalty against Wenatchee Valley, and an unreleasable penalty means that no matter what, usually like in hockey, ice hockey, if there's a penalty on one team, the other team scores, that releases the player out of the penalty box. But a penalty like this is unreleasable. So Southridge will be a man up here for the next 3 minutes to start this second quarter, and they get possession.
And there's 2 guys in the box right now, and I tell you what, that's my son Ben Higley with a pinched neck.
Oh, boy.
That happened to him last year.
That's right.
And you know, that's coach is really going to be upset about that.
I'm sure. That's right. I forgot about the penalty we got right before the end of the first quarter. So there's about 27 seconds left of that. So Southridge up 2 men here as we start the second quarter. Wenatchee Valley with a little cushion here, but as we found last year in my first year of calling lacrosse, that can disappear quickly.
Yeah. And that stick is out for the game, too. So, Ben, if he gets to get back in the game, we'll have to play with someone else's stick.
So it is Southridge ball as it's out top, and Peyton Monson looked at the shot. He'll work it over to the right side here. So Wenatchee Valley, just 4 guys to defend along with the goalie here. So tough task for Wenatchee Valley. And now here's a shot and a goal. Hayden Brimberry, coach's son, comes through and puts Southridge on the board.
So that releases Jax Tucker. There wasn't much time left in the penalty anyway, but so that'll help a little bit.
So I guess if you call that a shorthanded goal.
Yeah.
For Southridge with 11.
Well, no, they were up.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, it's a power play goal.
Power play, yeah.
There you go. So Southridge with the tally here. Now they trail 4-1. And we'll go out to midfield for the faceoff. Jake Ryder out there again here for Wenatchee Valley. Looks like they've got a different body in there for Southridge. Let's see if that is. They told me Jamison Sorensen would be out there doing it. No, it is Mason Lubinsky. The ball is loose, and that's hard with those helmets on. It's picked up here by Wyatt Schaefer for Southridge, but then he drops the ball at the 35-yard line. He'll back up, pick it up, and then swing it here left side to Lubinsky. And Lubinsky brings the ball outside to Peyton Monson. They'll switch some bodies, and here comes Hayden Brimberry, the man who just scored moments ago, and he'll collect it here inside the 30-yard line, play a little give and goal as they'll circle it around the outside. Southridge still working a man up here for the next couple of minutes as it's now a 4-1 contest. Again, around on the right side, looking for a hole in that defense. Here's the challenge, the shot, the ricochet off of the goalie. It goes up in the air and out of bounds, and who's closest to it? The officials say Southridge, so the Southridge will keep it with 10:55 to go here in the second quarter.
That was a nice block by Kyle Robertson there in the goal.
Ball in the stick of Gavin Kochel as they'll bring it back outside to Monson. Monson flips it over on the right side. Now they'll go inside. The ball touched by Wenatchee Valley. I think it was touched. No, they're going to say it's another turnover by Southridge.
Yeah, I thought Cole Hansen may have tipped it as well.
Yeah, I think the official's going to overrule him here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good call. I think it was touched, as you mentioned, by Wenatchee Valley. So
either that or it was a very bad pass.
Or a strange English on that pass because it went 2 different directions.
Well, I thought he was going to shoot.
He looked like he wanted to shoot it. Now here's Brimberry with the shot, but right there for the stop for Wenatchee Valley. Again, it is Kyle Robertson doing such a good job in goal.
Needs some help.
Flicks it all the way into the attack end. The ball loose, though.
Easy. Oh, that's a slash.
Bodies falling around, and let's see. The official going to say no penalty, but it's going to be Southridge ball.
Yeah, I thought they got away with one there maybe. You gotta, when you see that stick coming down on somebody, it's never a good thing.
Sam Williams over there with the defense and looked like, oh, nice opportunity for Wenatchee Valley to step in front there. Alan Burcheright almost got the pick off, but Southridge now in transition with the ball and looking like they want to shoot, and the shot taken, but the nice job defense pestering the shot by Peyton Monson, and Robertson comes up with the loose ball. He'll lob it up towards midfield looking for the long ball, and turning and collecting and going is Coldy. Coldy with a nice move to collect that ball on the pass from Robertson. Coldy going to wait for some help as he gets bodies off the bench. He's being pestered out towards midfield, and he'll pass it near side into the awaiting stick of Mason Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck with a goal in this one to Tilley down behind the goal crease. He'll bring it back around, kind of work like a point guard here. And Tilley,
I think they're just trying to kill the penalty right now, just run some time.
Nope, had the ball picked from him. It's loose back behind the goal crease. And who's going to get it here? Still loose back there.
Tilley's got it, I think.
Tilley had it, and it's loose, and now Southridge comes up with it. Spinning back there, the Suns, looks like Jacob Hansen. The ball loose again on the ground. Another loose ball. And people running before they got it in the stick, and it's still loose. Then finally comes up in the stick of Hayden Brimberry.
And that 3-minute penalty's finally over.
That seemed like it took quite a long time. Southridge able to get a point out of it as they trail at 4-1 here. 8:51 to go in this first half of play as they'll bring it up near midfield. Took them a while to get it out there. Monson will come into the attack end, get it inside the box, then flip it here left side of the goal crease to Sorensen, and they'll bring it back outside. Excuse me, that was Kochel with it. And now Monson. Monson out by the 35-yard line. I think he's collecting his breath aside from waiting for his offense to get set here. Wenatchee Valley brings another defender in behind the play on Jackson. Bowles comes in. Now the approach. Lost the handle there for a second. Then flips it over on the right sideline. Far side. They'll come in. That's a dangerous pass. The ball loose inside. Chance for Wenatchee Valley to pick it up. Cole Hansen doing a good job using his body to get to position for the ball. Still loose behind the goal crease on the left. And that's going to go out of bounds. And I think that's going to be Wenatchee Valley ball.
No call yet.
No, they're going to say Southridge ball. Goodness, I thought Sage Kreider was there closest on the end line.
Well, it's loose ball, so it was whoever touched it last.
Okay.
Off the shot.
Gotcha. So the ball comes outside to Peyton Monson once again. Monson picked up there by the defender, giving him a nice shove.
That's Mason Dahlbeck doing a nice job in D.
Over to the right side over there, Aiden Gaspar with it. Gaspar comes back outside of Monson. Substitution out of the game comes Griffin Tripp, and back in comes Hayden Brimberry, who has the lone goal for Southridge. And he just has that look about him like, yeah, I know what I'm doing out here.
Yeah.
As he's picked up by Cole Hansen. Now they'll feed left side. The ball too high, goes out of bounds, and another unforced turnover by Southridge. I've got them for 7 in this first half.
Wow, that's a lot of turnovers.
We'll see if Wenatchee Valley can take advantage here as they lead at 4-1 with 7:05 to go in this first quarter of play. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel. Along with Rod Higley, I'm Eric Grandstrom. As it's Mason Dahlbeck who has the ball, then flips it ahead to Cole Hansen. Hansen goes left side as it's Coldy with it, then back behind to Tilley. Tilley looking for some help. Near side has Bowles. Bowles will cross in front of him. Tilley will keep it, then flip it outside to Roby Jorgensen. Jorgensen will back it away, look over towards the bench, get the call of what Coach Parker and company want to do here. Now it is Dahlbeck on the drive. His shot, a little bit high, will go across the end line, but right there closest is Bowles. And so it's Wenatchee Valley ball. Bowles comes up right or left side of the goal crease, flips it back outside to Dahlbeck and then to Jorgensen. Jorgensen right between the hash marks, spins, defense comes out, pesters him, so he'll flip it over to the left side again, back to Bowles. Bowles back behind to Coldy. Coldy trying to muscle it back there. He's able to maintain possession. Now he'll flip it out front, and right there was Tilley a little bit too high on the pass, and the ball loose at about the 30-yard line, and a long stick for Southridge coming up with it. It's Wyatt Schaefer who came up with it. Now a Wenatchee Valley Thunder player goes down. Dahlbeck looks like he's okay. Now quickly into the forefront, and another turnover by Southridge. 8 here in this first half. Wow. 5:45 to go in the quarter. 4-1 the score. Wenatchee Valley, all 4 of its goals in the first quarter. Southridge's only tally here in the second.
Better be careful here.
Kyle Robertson off to Reiner. Jake needs to get it across the midfield stripe. He does. As the defenders have to stay right there. The attack man, if you will. Oh, this ball picked away. So a turnover for Wenatchee Valley. That's their second of this first half. And at midfield and then flipping it out of bounds was Wyatt Schaefer for Southridge. Another unforced error.
Lucky break for Wenatchee there.
They had it looked like they had numbers going the other way.
Yeah.
We're going to get a timeout here on the field. I think Coach Parker wants to talk it over here with the Southridge or with the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. So while he does that, we will take a break as well. 30 seconds on our broadcast. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder lacrosse here on the NCW Life Channel. 4-1 the score. We're back after this 30-second timeout. Welcome back once again here to the Apple Bowl in Wenatchee as the Wenatchee Valley Thunder lead Southridge 4-1 here in this opener for both clubs. And Rod Higley joining me here on the broadcast up in the booth here. Rod, you're talking about that measurement that happened between the quarters and the officials. Did they look for something or did it just kind of randomly go, okay, I'm going to grab your stick and we're going to measure it here?
Typically it's fairly random. Oftentimes they take the face-off guys because there's some advantage there. But they may have seen something out on the field. Maybe the ball wasn't seemed to come coming out of somebody's stick, quite right. So they may just select that one, but sometimes it's just random. I'll take this one and this one.
So they measure across the mouth the end, or from the base to the tip? So
it's the base to the tip, and then it's also the width right at the neck. That's where they pinch them. So if that ball doesn't come out. So you got a measurement across the face of it, and then but that's where the ball gets stuck, is right in the neck.
Okay. So Wenatchee Valley ball, and it will be over on the far side, I believe it is, as Roby Jorgensen, number 91, has it. He's picked up over there defensively by Jacob Hansen as he works it inside the 20, spins, looking for a shot. He'll shoot. The ball goes a little bit left and across the end line, and Tilly will be back there to grab a new ball to bring it back in here for Wenatchee Valley. Tilly comes outside with the pass and gets it out to Lucas Job.
Yeah, he's new to the varsity this year. It's nice to see him out there on the field.
Job's pass got away, but nice job by the fellows in midfield. They'll pass out front, turning, spinning, left-handed shot there, just a little bit off the mark, but right there, another but gray jerseys back behind the goal crease on the miss by Sammy Arredondo. And now outside, it's Jorgensen again. And again, tried to go with that bounce shot in, and it bounces over the top of the goal and heads across the end line. And so it'll be Wenatchee Valley ball again. Boy, lots of shots on goal here, Ron.
Lots of shots, and that's, when they're backed up, it doesn't hurt you any, So they just need to get them on the cage.
So Lucas Job out with it here in the near side and the top end of the box. And he'll flip it over close and with a shot, and the goalie lost the vision of it, but a nice stop again by the only goalie on the roster for Southridge, Hayden Greenaw.
That was Sammy Arredondo with that shot again. He's getting some good looks.
Hansen needs to get it across the midfield stripe. He finally does. Boy, that was close on the 10 seconds there. Then he lost the handle of it, and picking it up defensively for Wenatchee Valley, Butcherites, but then he lost it. But then it comes back to Sage Kreider. Kreider's going to try a pass out towards midfield. That's where the ball is loose. Who's going to scoop it up here? Looks like it's Sammy Arredondo, but then Southridge comes up with it. Now it's swatted at it and trying to reach across midfield because he can't go on the other side of the midfield stripe for Wenatchee. Was Ben Higley, but here comes Southridge picking it up. And right down the field goes Brimberry. He lost it. Good defense coming back from behind. Cole Hansen comes up with it here for Wenatchee Valley. Hansen double team, splits him, keeps the ball in his webbing, but then loses it.
Cole's a big body, and he's pretty quick, too, so I don't think they should put themselves in front of that.
He did nicely splitting the defense. Nice spin there by Peyton Monson, number 4 for Southridge, with the ball back the other way. Now he's going to shoot, fire, goes a little bit left of the goal area, and will go out of bounds off the end line. 2:55 to go here in the second quarter as the whistle sounds, and it will be Southridge to bring the ball back in as they'll come left side of the goal crease to Kochel. Kochel back outside will flip it out there to Lubinsky. Lubinsky will give it up to Brimberry, and Brimberry will slow things down here, chew some clock, and work on what he would like to do as his team trails at 4-1.
Boy, he's slowing it down quite a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Out there beyond the 40-yard line. Of course, the goal crease at the 10, so he's about 30 yards out as he starts. Faces the defense and then tries a shot, but right there with the stop in front of the goal for Wenatchee again, Kyle Robertson. Robertson with a pass to midfield, the ball loose, kicked around and then picked up by Gray Coldy. Coldy's got a 2-on-2 here. He'll get it in the box down right side to the right of the goal crease and then take it back behind the net and then flip it way outside on the far side over there for Jorgensen. Jorgensen drives. He'll shoot and score.
It was a matter of time.
It was, I think, 5 shots to get one, but Roby Jorgensen gets his second one of the contest and puts Wenatchee Valley up 5-1 with 1:51 to go here in the half.
Yeah, Roby can shoot both right and left. That one left-handed and right down the side of the goal.
Well, what was it, 3 times in a row he tried to go with that bounce shot in there, and I think they were thinking that's what he was going to do again. Instead, he just rifles it right at the net.
Yeah, it's a good shot, and he's got power on both sides, so it makes it tough on the defender because he can go both ways. A lot of these guys only have one hand.
So out to the face-off we go, and for Wenatchee Valley, I believe, again, it is Jake Strom going this time against Yuri Slutsky for Southridge. Everybody has to stay outside the blue line, both near and far sideline, with the face-off. And now the face-off goes back and picked up here by Wenatchee Valley as Easton Hudson has it, but then he lost it. Ball flipped around, but then Hudson comes back up with it as he spins, lost it again. And there you see the frailty of having that long stick, because you can't have a hard time with the helmet to keep track of where it is. So Southridge comes up with the ball. They'll flip it across on the far side of the field over there to Josh Hoytink. And Hoytink, first time we called his name tonight, was pestered. That ball is going to be picked away. Nice job by Wenatchee Valley to come up with the turnover. That's 10 unofficially. And Wenatchee Valley with a freed Gray Coldy. Coldy couldn't field it cleanly, though, but he'll scoop it up over in the corner. And wanted to feed it across. Now the ball loose and going to be picked up here. So Wenatchee Valley, golden opportunity, went awry there.
They need to settle down a little bit and just get some nice work around the net.
Brimberry pestered by Higley up to the midfield stripe, and then he puts on the brakes because he cannot go across that stripe. Has to stay back there for Wenatchee Valley. Brimberry will feed it across here near side to Peyton Monson with 40 seconds left. Southridge going to set up for the last shot of the half. So Brimberry.
It was nice to see Easton Hudson back in the game. He's out right now, but it was nice to see him back in there after that big hit.
Yeah, I was worried about maybe concussion protocol there. Monson with it now here near side for Southridge with 20 seconds left. See if they run this like basketball, get down to about 16 seconds and then go.
You called it.
Exactly right. But he lost the ball. Nice defense there for Wenatchee Valley. Got it back. Now he spins, goes through the defense, had it stripped away from behind. Cole Hansen comes up with it for Wenatchee Valley. He'll flip it ahead to midfield. Here comes Dahlbeck. Down the field he goes.
Shoot.
To the 35, 30, inside shot. It ricocheted off of the goalie. And that will be the half. And boy, what an end for Wenatchee. Great stop. Cole Hansen again flashing the defensive skills. And Wenatchee Valley that close to getting a goal right before the half.
Yeah, but there's 2 flags down on the field, so I'm not sure what that's about. There may have been some action after that play.
Could be. The official coming over to the Southridge coach, so we could have a little extracurricular like what you were talking about. As the man coming off the field next to the official was Caden Coleman, number 16. So before we go to the break for the half, we will get the call from the official.
I don't think we're going to figure it out until after the halftime.
So he's not going to signal for us here. We'll wait just a couple of more seconds. He'll go over and talk to his fellow official. Steve Junker is the man who threw the flag. I don't know if he has 2 flags or if both officials threw flags here.
You know, sometimes they do carry 2, you know, in case there's a second penalty they see. So I don't know if it's Brian's or both Steve's.
Okay, so while they talk about that, we'll keep an eye on that for you. But in the meantime, we are to halftime. And at the half, Wenatchee Valley with 4 goals in the first and another here in the second, lead it 5-1 over Southridge. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back here from the Apple Bowl in Wenatchee. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Live channel. We'll come back after this. Welcome back once again. We're getting the official telling us it was simultaneous unsportsmanlike against a player for Wenatchee and a player for Southridge as we get ready for the second half. It's just a 1-minute penalty. Cole Hansen will start in the penalty box for Wenatchee, as will Hayden Brimberry for Southridge. So no advantage there, Ron.
No, so probably the 2 boys got into it a little bit after the play, and the ref was right there and just figured, hey, we'll put it into it right now.
Okay, so here we go. 5-1 Wenatchee Valley with the lead. It looks like it's Joel Reiner out there. Joel Reiner.
Yeah, his dad's out there. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, Jake Reiner out there for Wenatchee Valley on the faceoff. Mason Lubinsky going for Southridge. Reiner will scoot it back out and then reach back and grab it himself. And he'll come up across the midfield stripe and have the defense come out on him here. Joel will keep it himself, get it into, or Jake. I did it again. Now he'll throw it away and it will go out of bounds. So a turnover for Wenatchee Valley. That's their 5th unofficially here in this ball game so far. So, well, you can can see some rust. You expect some rust the first game of the season.
Yeah, you see a lot of that. I mean, they're just not real settled yet, and you expect that in the first game.
Jacob Hansen had it, and he'll feed it over to Peyton Monson as the 1-minute penalty is over for both. No, not quite yet. Got another 27 seconds. I rushed myself, and now we've got ball loose over on the far sideline over there, and a whistle. And it looks like it went out of bounds off of Wenatchee. So it's Southridge ball, far sideline. Peyton Monson with it, number 4. And the official will say, all right, let's go. He'll bring it across the midfield stripe. Picked up, though, over there defensively for Wenatchee Valley by Alan Butcherite, as they'll feed it down in the corner and back behind the goal crease for the big fellow back there, Mason Lubinsky. As Lubinsky looking for that even larger target, Ryan Barley, who's hovering in front of the goal crease here for Southridge. Monson with it. Now left side, I think they were just trying to pad time here to get the penalty eaten up, and here comes Brimbury. He's the man who scored the lone goal for Southridge in that first half of play, picked up by Jorgensen as he just came off the bench as well. And Brimbury looking for maybe a crease there for the shot. Spins around, Jorgensen got the location and the shot and the goal.
That's a good shot. He was very patient with it, and he rolled back to his left and put it past the goalie.
So Hayden Brimbury cuts the lead again here for Wenatchee Valley. It's now 5-2 with 10:39 to go here in the third period. So a long way to go in this one as they'll bring it out for the face-off. Again, it'll be Lubinsky going for Southridge and Jake Strom for Wenatchee Valley. Just underway second half. Thanks for joining us here on the NCW Life Channel tonight. Along with Rod Higley, I'm Eric Grandstrom. We've got Michael Price and Jessica Mendoza here on the cameras tonight. We've got Becca Freemuth back in the studios.
Oh, well, I thought he held him there a little bit.
Strom trying to get after that loose ball as it's still loose around the 40-yard line. He kicked it, which is okay to kick it, right?
Yeah, you can kick it.
Okay. Now, who's got it? Brimbury had it and then lost it, and then right there to pick it up for Wenatchee Valley is Jake Strom. So he ends up with it back. Higley with a shot and the goal from the right side.
It's nice to see Ben back in the game and back on it after his little penalty there.
Using somebody else's stick there, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, Ben Higley with his first goal of the night here for Wenatchee Valley. And just like that, the Thunder answer with 10:18 to go here in the third quarter and extend their lead back to 5 at 6 to, excuse me, extend it back to 4 at 6-2. Officials getting everybody set here. And the officials themselves getting set before we do the face-off out here at midfield. Again, our officials, Brian Walker and Steve Junker. Junker out there to handle the face-off duties. As again, it is Lubinsky and Strom on the face-off. Strom
overflicked it.
Got it between his legs, but chasing back there after it, coming up with it for Wenatchee Valley. Jack Myers, and the ball loose at midfield, kicked around, and then finally picked up and then lost again. Nice swipe there by Tilley as the ball is still loose. Then Southridge had it, still loose, fumbled around on the ground. Who's going to come up with it? It is Strom for Wenatchee Valley. He tried to hand it off to Dahlbeck, but Dahlbeck lost it. Now we're going to get a push, and the official comes in and says Wenatchee Valley ball. Strom flicks it ahead over to Gray Coldy, back behind to Connor Tilley. Tilley lost it for a sec, got it back. Now we'll come outside. That was kind of a lackadaisical pass and a little low for Higley over there, but Ben's able to scoop it up and maintain possession out to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck will back away, and nice idea here to get things reset on this offensive set. He'll feed it inside, turning and shooting, and missing just wide to the left was Jake Strom. Well, if Strom stays after it, he's going to get a goal.
Yeah. Jake's got a good shot. He's a great player. You got to get that knee back under him after that surgery.
Connor Tilley with it out top. He'll feed way outside to Dahlbeck. Mason looking. He's trying to spread the defense out. Now we'll go off a pick out front and then feed and try to get it to Jorgensen. Wenatchee Valley maintains possession. Tilley with it to the left of the goal crease, spinning, looking, spinning again. Then backs it back out center to Dahlbeck between the hash marks. Right side it will go down to Strom. Strom back behind the goal as it's Higley over there. Ben will come back out and then work it out top. And then spinning is Coldy. Gray Coldy with a shot and the score.
Gray Coldy's got the hot hand tonight. That's 3 for him.
So Gray Coldy with a nice bounce shot in with 8:46 to go here in the third quarter. And just like that, Wenatchee Valley on top 7-2.
It's good to see him kind of show a little bit more intensity offensively and a little more control too, better passing and a good shot.
Well, we talked about the departure of Nathan McCarthy last year, and he would come in and he would just take the ball, and you knew he was just going to go for it.
Yeah, well,
there was no doubt. And you can't replace a guy like that because, we called him the tank.
He's a big body. And Cole Loomis, too. Cole was so fast and such a good leader on the field, too. You can't replace those guys.
Strom going against Brimbury this time for the face-off. Ball still loose back on the Southridge side of the field, and the official says it's going to be Southridge ball this time. And sometimes rather than just call a penalty, they'll call a shove against somebody trying to get after that loose ball. And
loose ball push, and it's just a change of possession, not a personal foul or a technical foul where they put him on the sideline.
So Brimbury, number 3, has it at the 40-yard line. They'll get it inside that blue box that runs out to it's the 30-yard line on here on the field. It's actually 20 yards out from the goal crease. They have to get it inside that attack box, and then they can back it out from there. But you have so much time that you have to get it in or get your feet inside. Then when we get inside 2 minutes of the first half or the end of the game, you got to keep it inside the blue box, right?
Well, that's the idea to make sure that the team isn't just killing the clock,
right.
So it's a rule to kind of keep things fair.
Here comes Brimbury again, spinning. He's got both of the goals here for Southridge in this game so far, but Wenatchee does a nice job of defense. Again, there is Cole Hansen, just key player here for Wenatchee Valley. They'll flip it ahead to Reiner. Reiner on the attack with the feed and a backhanded attempt there. The ball's still loose and almost scooped into the goal crease. And there's the shot and the goal for Wenatchee Valley. Coming up with a loose ball, and the flick was Connor Tilley and put that one on the board.
You got to love it when Connor just grabs it and just flings it from an angle that no one else can hit. But he found net that time.
8-2, Wenatchee Valley on top, 7:33 to go here in this third quarter. Well, first it was a backhanded attempt by Connor right in front of the goal crease. I thought, oh my gosh.
Yeah. The defense was unsettled, and Wenatchee was fortunate actually to get that bounce and get it back in the net.
So here we go out to midfield for the faceoff. Again for Wenatchee Valley, it will be Jake Reiner going up against Hayden Brimbury. They'll wait for the official to put the ball down, and then he'll back away, and they can't move until he blows the whistle.
But he did that time.
And Reiner moved early.
No, the other guy.
Oh, it was Brimbury that moved early. Okay. Oh, no, it is blue ball.
Okay.
So
you had it right.
I had it right, yeah. I thought that I saw Jake move a little bit early there, and sure that was the case. Meanwhile, Southridge, their Brimbury was heading over so they could get a defender out there because he thought, well, that's kind of your indication, though. If the guy that's out there for the faceoff comes running off thinking that he lost it because he moved early, I think he moved early. So Brimbury will bring it up in between the hash marks here, get it inside the attack box in the attack end here for Southridge. He'll back it away as the defense comes out on him. I don't know. You would know more than I, Rod. The defense looks a little more extended here for Wenatchee Valley this year. I don't know if they made a change or not, but I didn't see a lot of the defenders way out front. And here, speaking of in front, is a beautiful pass to Aiden Gaspar, and he gets the goal for Southridge and brings the Southridge a little bit closer here, 8-3.
Yeah, typically the defense does want to stay back in that box, so they won't come out too far on the guys because if they get around them, they've got an open run to the net. And it's easier to get the help when you're in tight like that.
Well, maybe that's I was accidentally pointing out something that was maybe a little out of shape there for Wenatchee Valley.
Could be. Yeah, they do have some new guys out there on defense. Not right now. I mean, these are the main guys. You got Tucker, Cole Hansen, and Sage Kreider.
So it'll be Reiner out there again on the faceoff along with Brimbury for Southridge as the team from the Tri-Cities gets a goal. 8-3 the score here with 7:04 to go in the third. And Brimbury looks a little shaken up on the play as he tried to get down there. The official first said it was going to be Wenatchee Valley ball, but I think a little push off, and so it's Southridge ball here.
Loose ball push, and I don't know what Brian was pointing the other direction. Maybe that's what he was saying. He would push that direction.
Sure. Peyton Monson has it. He'll give it up to Brimbury. Doesn't look any the worse for wear as he stays out there after kind of slowly getting up after that face-off. And we're going to get a whistle here from the far side. And I'm not sure what the penalty was or what the situation was, but Wenatchee Valley ball.
Could have been an illegal screen or something.
Reiner, smacked from behind on the club there by Brimbury. Two bodies on him. He'll pass it back outside to Dahlbeck.
Pretty aggressive.
Yeah, Mason will come inside the 30-yard line between the hash marks. See if he can find a crease in the defense. Can't, so he'll give it up to Roby Jorgensen. Roby left side, down the hash as he goes. Inside, looking for help or a shot. He has the shot. He shoots it, and a stop is made. And losing a sight on it for a moment was Hayden Greenall, but he is able to come up with it on the stop. He'll flip it back out over on the left side to Jacob Hansen. Hansen near midfield, but the ball stolen away. Nice defense by Wenatchee Valley. The ball's still loose here. Dahlbeck comes up with it, but a good job by Wenatchee Valley. Jorgensen maybe a little shaken up on the play. Looks like he's wiggling the fingers on his left hand.
That's a lot of stick coming down on those hands sometimes, even if you got gloves on.
Well, and it's still early in the quote-unquote spring. And so chilly temperatures also going to make your hands sting a little extra when you get a club on it. Ball comes out near midfield, touch there, and then Dahlbeck comes up with it, pestered by the defense coming out on him, and now we're going to get a whistle. Lubinsky a little bit overzealous, and coming here near sideline, shaken up on the play is Dahlbeck.
I think they're calling a ward off on Dahlbeck. I think the stick was getting up underneath his pads there, and he was pushing it off.
Dahlbeck collapses here near sideline as they get a replacement for him, and now we're going to get a timeout taken by Southridge. So we'll take a 30-second break on our broadcast as well with 5:23 to go here in the third. Wenatchee Valley on top, 8-3. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. We're back after this. Thanks for joining us here on the NCW Life Channel tonight. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Wenatchee Valley YMCA. For youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility, it's the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. Also by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries. And our pregame brought to you by Heritage Memorial Chapel, a funeral home with a heritage owned by a trusted friend. Appreciate you joining us. First of our 5 scheduled broadcasts of lacrosse here this spring on the Wenatchee Valley NCW Life Channel. We'll have 25 broadcasts all said and done between baseball, soccer, lacrosse, and some softball this spring. We're going to test the waters in that and figure out if we can do that technically. That's the technical challenge behind the scenes is a little difficult at Walla Walla Point Park or the Sterling Sports Complex.
Sure.
And just our cameras, the big thing, and I'll pull the curtain back a little bit, the big thing is our cameras don't like to shoot through netting.
Yeah.
You get the netting behind home plate and it really plays havoc. Here at the rec park, it's easy because we can put the cameras here on the press box out here in the outfield, and we're taken care of there. And at Dan White Field, we're actually in their press box, which is above the third baseline, so we don't have any netting to worry about. Softball complex is a little bit difficult here in the Wenatchee Valley. So we'll try it out here this spring and do our best for you there. So after the timeout taken by Southridge, it will be their ball as Brimbury will come in with it, step a foot inside the attack box, and we'll flip it over on the left side of Monson. Monson will go down low, but then Coachell says, I don't see anything, so they'll circle it back out top again.
I'm kind of surprised Monson hasn't taken more shots. I think he had like 18 goals last year for them.
So it's Brimbury again, and now looking, but then kind of a dink by Monson there. He'll back it away. Yes, Wenatchee Valley on top, 8-3 with 4:44 to go here in the third. And right side, even with the goal crease. They'll bring it back outside again as Brimbury will look over towards the sideline and see what they want to do here. Again, it is Gaspar who had a goal here, and then a shot taken by Brimbury is wide left. Will go over the end line, Southridge ball.
Defense isn't giving them much. You know, they're staying in position, and they're staying where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, early season last year we saw Wenatchee Valley defense, especially right in these types of situations, got to watching the ball and not necessarily the men that were moving around.
Right.
They're doing a much better job of that here in the early season, at least in this first game here this year. And that's what Brandon Parker said. He goes, I can't wait to talk to you after the game to see what you see differently between last year's first game and this year's first game. Not that I know anything, but we'll talk about that, especially I've been impressed with the defense and their positioning. As Southridge brings a new body in the field, and here's a shot and a score. Suddenly, well, you called it, Peyton Monson comes up with his first goal of the game here with 3:52 to go in this third quarter.
That's a tough one for the goalie to see when you've got defenders out in front of you, and he throws it low down right past the defender into the back of the net.
So it becomes an 8-4 contest with 3:52 to go here in the third. And, I was telling, we've got Jessica Medina. Medina is our one of our camera people here tonight, and Jessica, this is her first time ever seeing lacrosse, so she's shooting it here tonight. And I said, look, if somebody gets up by 4 goals, that's nothing. And this is the case right now here for Wenatchee Valley. So can't rest on your laurels because you got, another, 15 minutes to go in this contest. And they're going to say that Southridge pushed off here, so it will be Strom getting the ball for Wenatchee Valley up the far sideline. He will go, and we'll see if they can take advantage here as they get the transition going. Ben Higley with it now on the left side, brings it back outside. Good to see Mason Dahlbeck after he was collapsing here on the near sideline a moment ago. Dahlbeck feeds out back behind the goal crease, and boy, a nice opportunity in front, but the ball, nice defense there by Southridge, and their goalie comes up with the ball, almost lost it there. Has been Higley, or excuse me, it was Connor Tilley that was back there pestering it.
They're doing a good job on that, on the rides, too.
Here's another opportunity for a collected loose ball for Wenatchee Valley, and it will be, as coming up with it is Jax Tucker for the Thunder. He'll get it into the offensive set here. Up ahead to Gray Coldy, who's got a couple of goals here tonight. 3 goals, in fact, here for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. Back behind it will go as Tilley will bring it back outside as Reiner's out there. Jake comes, works off of somewhat of a pick, and then looking for some help cross field goes to Jorgensen. Nice job by Roby to catch that ball. Roby on the spin, turning, looking, and he'll shoot, and the ball ricochets high in the air. Right there back behind is Coldy, and Gray will shoot and score.
Nice shot. He got his all space. He had space around him to get that shot off, and got his hands free, and got some good speed on that shot.
Gray Coldy. Good positioning back behind for the chance out front by Roby Jorgensen, and then comes up with the ball and very aggressively attacks with 2:27 to go here in the third. It's now a 9-4 contest with Wenatchee Valley on top.
But like you were saying, you can see goals scored in bunches, so this game certainly, even though 5 goals feels comfortable, no one should be comfortable with that lead.
Brimbury out there again for Southridge on the faceoff, and it will be again for Wenatchee Valley. Jake Reiner on the faceoff here for the Thunder. Got a new body here near side as Garrison Coley is into the lineup here for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. And a nice job by Reiner controlling the faceoff. Reiner spinning, the defense whacking at him from behind. Here's a push up towards the head area.
Oh, yeah, it's a little dangerous.
Goodness.
He got through it.
And now he's through it and open and shoots a little bit too high.
He's a little excited on that one.
He saw that the goal come open to him. It looked like the parting of the Red Sea. And it is Wenatchee Valley ball as Connor Tilley will bring it back outside. Far sideline over there. A lot of new bodies in. Colin Wheeler in there for Wenatchee Valley with this somewhat large lead here in this third quarter. Now to Roby Jorgensen outside. Roby, he'll try that left-handed shot. It will go a little bit wide to the right and will go out of bounds, or did it go across the end line?
It was a shot. They ruled it a shot,
okay.
So it did go off the out-of-bounds side, but that's considered a shot, so Ben was to the end line first.
Here's a pass in close, and then clobbered after the shot was Garrison Coley. Wenatchee Valley trying to keep the ball back behind the net, but it will be Southridge that comes up with it. Then they lose it out of bounds. It will go over to Wenatchee Valley on the turnover. Good stick handling back there by Wenatchee Valley, pestering the ball handler as it is Greg Coldy now in front. He'll shoot and score.
Wow, 5 goals. That's that's a big night.
And 3 here in the third quarter alone with 1:14 to go. It is 10-4. Good buddy.
You know, you were talking about how you replace those seniors from last year, and here you see the seniors stepping up again. You know, Gray's been playing lacrosse for a long time, and it's his turn now.
Wow, how about that? Have you seen many 5-goal games?
No, I haven't. That's a lot of goals. I mean, I've seen it against Wenatchee. There's been some players that just you're unstoppable, and they can get 5-6 goals a game. But
I think we saw that with Issaquah in the playoff game last year.
Yeah.
You know, they're very good player, just kind of took control of that second half. But taking control here is Greg Coldy for Wenatchee Valley. It's now a 10-4 contest with 1:14 to go as they'll come out towards the midfield and do the faceoff again. Jake Strom out there for Wenatchee Valley. It's Mason Lubinski for Southridge. Near side is Jackson Bowles for the Thunder. Far side is Mason Dahlbeck. And the, again, face-off is controlled by Strom. Strom feeds it ahead to Ben Higley, back behind to Tilley. Tilley will come out on a bounce pass, goes out towards midfield. Chance for Southridge to take advantage and a whistle. And it will be Southridge ball.
May have called a loose ball push on Wenatchee there.
So where will the ball be? They want to bring it back out towards...
Right up on top there,
okay.
right where it happened.
All right, so it'll be out to Hayden Brimberry, who will come in and take the ball on the far side over at the hash mark of the 40. He has the ball right now. Gets it inside the zone. Brimberry will pass it up to Monson, who has a goal here in this second half. And he'll flick it ahead to Gaspar, who also has a goal tonight. Here comes Brimberry. Animated on his approach. Cut off there by Dahlbeck. Then spins around and he'll shoot and score. Wow. He had it in his mind that that's what he wanted to do. Yeah. He was fleet of foot, got away from the defense, and a third goal of the night for Hayden Brimberry.
Yeah, you could see it when he first got the ball. He's like, I'm going to work until I get an open shot, and he did. Defense is talking it over now.
Well, he did a nice job of working around, and I don't know if it was a planned pick, but it was a scrub at least, where he's able to shed one defender and just got enough of a space to flick that stick with the right hand and was able to get it past to the goalie for Wenatchee Valley, Kai Robertson. And so the 5th goal of the night here. It's a 10-5 contest with 32 seconds left here in the third. Strom trying to pick it up, does so for Wenatchee Valley. Nice job on the faceoff again for Strom.
He does a nice job keeping his body between the defender and the ball.
Strom will work it ahead over on the far side as with it now is Sam Williams. First time to call his name here tonight. Sam with it behind the goal crease.
He can score.
He wanted to think about a shot.
He said he'll about it.
Bounce on the pass out front. A little bit out of the reach there. So Jackson Bowles. Jackson Bowles shoots from 25 yards out. I think he did it because time was running out here in the third quarter.
Well, that was a good shot.
That was a good shot, and our score is now 10-5 as we have a barn burner here. High-scoring affair here tonight between Wenatchee Valley and Southridge. We're through 3, 1 more to go. We'll take a 60-second break and come back. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse here tonight on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back once again here to Leibofto Field at the Apple Bowl. And how about that? 9 goals scored between the two teams in the third period, as Hayden Brimberry scored first with 10:39 to go in the third to make it a 5-2 contest. But then Wenatchee Valley reeled 3 goals off in a row by Ben Higley, Gray Coldy, and Connor Tilley to make it 8-2. Aiden Gaspar and Peyton Monson would tally for Southridge, trying to cut it back again as they cut it down to 8-4 with 3:52 to go in the third. And then Gray Coldy, 2 more goals. He's got 5 in the contest to put Wenatchee Valley up 10-4 with 1:14 to go. But Hayden Brimberry came out in the last 40 seconds and said, you know what, I'm going to score here. And he certainly did. And that's where we are right now as we head to the fourth quarter of play. 10-5 the difference here. And again, don't go away. 5 goals, especially in what looks like a game like this, Rod, is not a safe margin.
No, and this is a fun game to watch. You know, it's the first game of the season, so there is a lot of mistakes, a lot of turnovers and things like that. But they've settled down quite a bit. The second half, I think, has been pretty good. I mean, there's been a lot of goals, which everybody likes to see scoring.
Sure, that's right.
Especially when it's your own team, you know.
Well, a 10-5 differential as we get ready to start this fourth frame, and it will be again for Wenatchee Valley. Jake Strom on a face-off. Southridge still breaking their huddle here. Josh Brimberry, their head coach, Evan Smith, Giovanni Medilli, and Mario Medilli are the assistants. I should mention that we've got Jeff Rounds as an assistant here for Coach Parker. And who else do we have down there,
Well,
Ron?
we've got Coach Rob, who is just visiting. He's not coaching this year, so he's on the bench. But he's, he was one of the assistant coaches last year.
Okay.
And other than that, I don't see any other coaches down there.
Okay.
Jimmy Sherrill's coaching JV.
JV, we should mention, that was a good game, too, against Gonzaga Prep here earlier before the contest here tonight. Wenatchee Valley holding on for a 9-6 victory in the junior varsity game. And, boy, that was a good game.
Yeah, it was. The JV looked pretty good. A couple of guys, Tristan Block had a real good game. Bryce Fetzer also had a good game.
Wenatchee Valley wins the face-off here. Ball loose for a moment, but Tilley picks it up here for Wenatchee Valley and will back it away from the defense. Watch out, he'll shoot from there. And he does, and he scores!
He was being pestered by the defender there, and they just encouraged him to go around him and score.
Wyatt Schaefer was on the defense. Connor Tilley, I think, did the head look outside like he was going to throw it outside, then spun and shot, and with the score, his second of the night.
It's nice to see guys like Connor Tilley and Gray Coldy and all the seniors, even the ones, like Jack Myers and Garrison Coley, all these guys, they've been around the program so long. It's nice to see them, represent themselves on the field and off the field. I mean, they're the leaders.
So for the face-off this time around is Hayden Brimberry for the Southridge, and meanwhile for Wenatchee Valley, again, it is Jake Strom, and who's done a great job on these face-offs.
Both of the guys have. I think Wenatchee's controlled most of them. They've lost 2 of them, maybe.
We saw Jake Ranner do a lot of the face-offs last year. Was he a freshman or sophomore?
No, he's a junior this year. So
yeah,
he was a sophomore last year.
Sophomore last year. He did very well representing himself out there.
He and Nate McCarthy took most of them last year.
So Southridge wins it here. Monson looks at the shots. Instead will feed down left side, and kind of left alone there for a moment was Gochel. And they'll feed across weak side, looking for the shot from the weak side, and missing wide to the right on the shot over there for Southridge was Aiden Gaspar, trying to get his second goal of the night. It will be Southridge ball, though, as the Suns were closest to it. I mentioned the Suns. It's hard not to say Southridge Suns, even though they told me beforehand that they've got the Southridge colors, they've got the Southridge logo across the chest, but don't call them the Suns because there's also Braves, there's also Lions in there mixed. Far side Brimberry, he looks like he wants to score again, almost did, and then is decked to the right side, and he's injured on the play. And one of the best players on the field for Southridge, you hope he's okay.
Yeah, I think he just took a little shot there. He's getting up pretty quickly, so he looks like he's okay.
No penalty flag out. So a clean hit as he tried to get the ball in. He did get it in close. I think it went off the side of the net.
Yeah, I think it may have hit the pipe. It bounced off there pretty hard.
So shake it up on the play. He'll come out. A little injury timeout brought to you by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries. It will be Southridge ball, it looks like.
as they'll put it into the stick on the far side over there. And I believe that is Aiden Gaspar way over there, kind of in our little dark spots on the field. Gaspar with the ball in net. Then the pass out top, little off the mark to Monson. Gaspar collects it back, however.
Jack Myers on the tough D.
Now left side, and now
threw it away.
Trying to feed it in front, and this is going to go over to Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, I think that was a pass. That wasn't a shot.
So another turnover for Southridge. We got them for 11 unofficially here in the game tonight. Their first game of the season as well. And Wenatchee Valley with the ball now. Far side coming up along the edge was Colin Wheeler, as he'll bring it all the way into the attack end here for Wenatchee Valley.
I think that's Roby over there, isn't it?
Oh, it is Roby. Yep, sorry. I saw the 1 and thought I saw a 5. It's a 9, so there you go. Roby Jorgensen for Wenatchee Valley. Now to Tilly here near sideline. Connor will work it back. Poked at from behind by Jacob Hansen. Tilly with it still. Down in the corner, who scored just moments ago for Wenatchee Valley. Far sideline to Reiner. Reiner brings it back outside. 9:40 to go here in the contest. 11-5 the score. A feed in front. Dahlbeck with a turnaround whip and just off the mark, and a good stop there that time by Greenall, the goalie for Southridge. They'll get it up near midfield, but the ball didn't go to anybody, but it went to Cole Hansen. Hansen's going to feed back to midfield here for Wenatchee Valley. So yet another turnover for Southridge as the Thunder in transition here get it down in the corner, as it is Gray Coldy who's got 5 goals on the night for Wenatchee Valley, defended by Josh Hoytank, and then
Ben.
almost
Just
looking for number 6, got Ben out front. Higley collects it again, and he'll shoot, but they're going to wave it off here. Timeout going to be taken by Coach Parker and the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. So we'll take another 30-second break and come back. 8:57 to go in the fourth. 11-5 Wenatchee Valley on top of Southridge. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse tonight on the NCW Life Channel. We're back after this. And back again. Here we are at the Apple Bowl in Wenatchee, home surface for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse. Now, what, about 11 years in existence, something like that?
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly the year it started. I should. I was around. I remember all the signs. But so my older son is 22, and so yeah, I bet it's 11 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A strong program, definitely, here in the Wenatchee Valley that is a club sport. Folks are asking me about if this is Wenatchee High School, and while there are a lot of, in fact, the majority of the players are Wenatchee High School students, it is not a school sport per se.
No, they try to get the affiliation, but it's so expensive to bring another sport into the school, especially a sport like this where you've got this equipment and all this kind of stuff. So it'd be tough to get sanctioned, but that's what they're working towards.
Well, and with Title IX, too, trying to find the balance between girls and boys sports and the offerings, that presents a challenge as well. So it's Dahlbeck, number 22, here at the 35-yard line. He has the ball to start this reset after the timeout taken by Wenatchee Valley.
He's got it.
And Dahlbeck will shoot and score.
Nice little skip shot in there. Nice job, Mason Dahlbeck.
Mason Dahlbeck with his second goal of the game, and that comes with 8:47 to go here in the fourth quarter, and that makes it a 12-5 contest. Wenatchee Valley on top.
Starting to get a little breathing room now. They seem a little bit more relaxed, and 7 goals. It's still time. There's 9 minutes left in this game.
So they'll get some fresh bodies in here for this face-off. It's still Reiner going to do the face-off for Wenatchee Valley, and Brimbury for Southridge. Here near side, it's Lucas Job in the contest. Far side, it is
Sammy Arredondo. He hurt his ankle earlier in this game. I saw him come off limping, so it's nice to see him back in there. Kid's got wheels. He's very fast.
Brimbury battling for it, and what are we going to have here? They're going to say a push and advantage to Southridge, as Wenatchee Valley was.
They changed their mind.
Oh, We've had a few of those. Of course, it's the first game of the season for the officials,
refs, too. Yeah.
Far side, it is Reiner with it at the 30. He'll feed up ahead to Higley. Ben looking for...
Got Tilly.
There's Tilly back behind the goal as he comes here near sideline. And Tilly gets away from the defender. He'll try to feed it across. The ball is loose, going to go across the end line. Who did it touch last? I thought it touched Southridge. It did, according to the officials. So it'll be out to Wenatchee Valley. That was close to a turnover there. And Tilly, the way he got away from the defender there, I thought he would at least have somebody wide open with the defenders also coming across to help out. Tilly flips it back outside here to Reiner, as Wenatchee Valley will work a little more clock here with just over 8 minutes to go in the contest. Reiner
nice
in
feed.
front, and right there for Wenatchee Valley was Lucas Job.
He paid for it, but they got the ball back.
Nice job at collecting it on the defensive turnaround here for Wenatchee Valley. Tilly with it, far side right, as Wenatchee Valley trying to get everybody involved in this one here this evening. They'll feed it out across, and there's another shot just a little bit wide of the goal mouth, and now we're going to get a club after the fact, and a flag will come out. We're going to get a penalty second of the night on Yuri Seliski.
He doesn't know what he did, and I think what they're trying to calm down this year are these hard hits where guys go down to the turf. It's tough for a guy that's big, I guess it's on the smaller. No, it is on the big guy. So tough for a guy like that to hold back. He's not. Probably doesn't feel like he's being all that aggressive.
Right.
But, you put the guy on his back.
Probably a football player, and he says, that was a good block,
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
It's just when you got a stick in your hand, it's kind of a little different. So it will be a penalty on Slutsky, and it will be Wenatchee Valley ball, and they'll be up a man here for at least a minute or two. I didn't see how long that penalty was. Higley with it now for Wenatchee Valley will feed left, then collect it back, and then outside to Reiner. Reiner's going to shoot and score, and then he is belted after the shot as well, and another penalty coming against Southridge against Wyatt Schaefer, but give the goal to Wenatchee Valley's Jake Reiner. It's now 13-5.
That's a nice goal. You hate to see Southridge start taking shots on guys after they get the shot off. So I hope it doesn't with 7 minutes to go, I hope it doesn't start to deteriorate like that.
It's almost where if you're Coach Parker, you maybe call a timeout, bring your guys over and say, okay, don't fall into the trap here.
Yeah. Because that's what happens, it just escalates once one guy starts getting hit.
Absolutely.
Then you've got two guys on the sidelines pretty soon.
So with the goal by Wenatchee Valley, that releases the penalty on Slutsky, but after the goal scored, the penalty here against Wyatt Schaefer, so he'll be in the penalty box as the face-off will come out to midfield. Again, it will be Brimbury for Southridge and Reiner for Wenatchee Valley on this face-off with 7:25 to go here in the fourth. 13-5, Wenatchee on top. And a nice job by Reiner. Just scoops that back between his legs, and right back there is Roby Jorgensen. He'll bring it across the midfield stripe. Roby comes near side and passes it off to Connor Tilly. Tilly looking back behind for Ben Higley. Higley will work it back behind the goal mouth and over there to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck outside it comes to Gray Coldy. Back to Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck inside. Close turnaround shot and score. There's Ben Higley for another one for Wenatchee Valley.
Nice feed from Mason Dahlbeck. They caught the defense watching the ball. They were man up, so they couldn't be too aggressive on defense, and he got the open look and put it in the back of the net.
Makes it 14-5 Wenatchee Valley with 6:58 to go as they're coming in a cluster, 4-0 here in this fourth quarter for Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, I know they've been working on that a lot, the man-up play, and that's the whole idea is to get that ball whipping around back and forth and get those defenders kind of off balance a little bit.
Good crowd on hand here to support the Wenatchee Valley Thunder across the way on the Pioneer side here of Lebofto Field. It will be Strom again here for Wenatchee Valley against Brimbury for Southridge on the face-off. Oh, I thought he had it.
Yeah, he lost that one.
Burnbury
I think that's
gets the ball here, and watch for him to shoot as he is tackled from behind, and the flag comes out. They're going to call a penalty against Wenatchee Valley. 30-second technical foul called here, and they're going to whistle that, I think, against Jackson Bowles for Wenatchee Valley. Was it Jackson, or I think, no, possibly it was Jake Strom. So Strom's going to come to the penalty box here near side.
Yep.
So Wenatchee Valley will be down a man for 30 seconds here, as the ball comes up to Peyton Monson to start things off here. Monson does have a goal tonight of the 5, one of the 5 for Southridge. Has it now between the hash marks and looks like he wanted to wind up and fire, but saw a man in front of him. So he'll pass it back behind the goal crease. Hasn't been a lot of offensive sets really for Southridge here in this, especially second half. Here's a shot, and it bounces off of the foot, and ouch, that hurts, as it goes skying into the air. And another flag is going to come out here, and it's going to come, I believe, against Southridge. So 3 is the number. So Hayden Brimbury is called for a slash and a 1-minute penalty on him. So that equals things up here with both teams with a player in the penalty box.
That one-handed whip with the stick. I didn't necessarily see it, but that's what he's doing down there in the box. He's talking, I just did this, I just did this.
Hard to see from our vantage point if there was contact. There must have been. The official right behind the play had a good view of it. So it's Wenatchee Valley ball as they get it ahead to Jackson Bowles, down to Connor Tilley. Tilley works off a pick back there from Ben Higley. Connor with it, then lost it, looking for it, scooping it up, trying to get it back in that back corner back there. Does. Gets another pick from Ben Higley, and then we'll feed it back to Ben over on the left side. Ben comes back outside to Greg Coley, who's already got 5 goals in the game. Inside to Higley, turnaround,
hit the pipe.
Shot, hit the upright, and the ball scampers out towards midfield, and back there to collect it for Wenatchee Valley is Garrison Coley. So Garrison will collect that loose ball. Get it ahead to Tilley. Tilley's going to shoot. That one's a little bit too high. And we'll go across the end line, and that's where Wenatchee Valley will pick it up and bring it back into play here.
You know, they're man up. They've got a little bit of time left on this penalty. They should try and get a good shot right here.
Outside it comes to a fresh body in there, Jake Strom, and near side to Tilley. Outside to Coley. Or Coley, I should say, Garrison Coley. He's got it. He'll shoot. That ball caroms off of a couple of players in front of the goal mouth, and it's picked up by their goalie here. He'll flick it out towards midfield. Monson collects it there. Gets away from the defender coming at him. Monson splits the defense.
He's
in close. He'll shoot, and it will go wide to the right and across the end line, but Southridge right there. So it'll be Southridge ball with 5:03 to go here in the contest. 14-5, Wenatchee on top. Thanks for joining us here on the NCW Life Channel for lacrosse here as we start the season tonight. Now to Monson back in again. Stops, and a nice job defensively there by Jake Strom. And that ball will actually go out to Wenatchee Valley.
It's like Cole Hansen beat him to the line there. Either that or it was off the Southridge player.
I think it went off a Southridge player, possibly. But they'll give it up to Kyle Robertson, who's had kind of a quiet second half here. Hasn't had to make many plays. The ball's mostly been in the Southridge end of the field.
Southridge is still playing hard. They just made a nice play on defense there.
We're going to get a timeout. I think I heard one of the coaches ask for down on the field. I think it's a Southridge timeout. So as they take a timeout, we'll take a break as well, catch our breath here, as we are closing in on 9 o'clock here in the evening on this finally Friday. 4:42 left in the fourth, 14-5. Wenatchee Valley on top. We're back after this 30-second timeout. Coverage of lacrosse tonight here on the Wenatchee NCW Life Channel, brought to you by Wenatchee Valley YMCA. For youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility, it's the YMCA. Also by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries, and Heritage Memorial Chapel, a funeral home with a heritage owned by a trusted friend. Along with Rod Higley, I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCW Life Channel. It was a 5-1 game at halftime, and we have had an offensive explosion here in the second half. It's 14 14-5 now. Wenatchee Valley on top, and a 5-goal night so far for Greg Coldy.
Yeah, there's still time, but Wenatchee probably just needs to just take care of the ball right now. I think Southridge is kind of, once they got down, they got a little frustrated and they get a little physical out there, So Wenatchee might be well served to just run and be smart with the ball. Don't turn it over.
Kind of go to a four-corner offense, if you will.
If they get a good shot, take it, but don't be just driving every time because you're going to get your head taken off by these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So the ball is at midfield, and it's over on the far side in the stick of Peyton Monson, number 4. He'll bring it across here near side to Brimberry. Brimberry, the only scorer with multiple scores here tonight, with 2 goals of the 5 for Southridge. Far side, it goes to Gaspar. Now back out top again as they went down left and maybe try to find a gap in that defense. Brimberry with it. He'll bring it down behind the goal crease this time as he'll look to see if the defense is watching the ball and not watching bodies. Brimberry comes in tight. He is in close, but got 3 bodies on him.
It's good D.
Trying to find a gap in there.
He wants to shoot it so
he'll
bad.
shoot. It will go wide right, but they're going to get a penalty, I think, on Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's on Sage Kreider, I believe.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good defense. I mean, the kid probably should have found somebody. There was 3 guys on him. There, somebody had to be open there.
Yeah, 1-minute penalty there for a slash on Sage Kreider, that is. So Wenatchee Valley will be down a man with 3:59 to go here for 1 minute as we close out this 4th quarter. I think Ryan Barley has the ball way over in the corner there. And he'll flip it ahead out to Aiden Gaspar. And then near side it comes to Brimberry. Lost it. And then Cole Hansen's right there. Coming up with it is Monson on the loose ball. Monson flips it across, then back in outside of Brimberry. Brimberry wants to shoot, and he will. And a chase to the end line. Then Southridge just barely beating out Kyle Robertson. Good heads-up play by Kyle to turn around and try to get to the end line.
He's hustling, and his head's still in the game. That's good.
Outside it comes. Here comes Monson with a shot. It will get in, and it'll be a score for Southridge. First score of the 4th quarter.
That releases the penalty, so we're full strength now.
Comes with 3:33 to go.
Well, man up, give Southridge a chance to work on their man-up play. Pretty tough to come back at this point, but, so I don't know what the coach is telling them. Probably just keep playing hard.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Peyton Monson with his 2nd goal of the night here for Southridge. It's now 14-6 with 3:33 to go in regulation here tonight between Southridge and Wenatchee Valley. Appreciate you joining us tonight on the NCW Life Channel. It'll be Reiner out there again on the face-off here for Wenatchee Valley against Brimberry for Southridge. He's been the man doing most of the duty out there on the face-offs, and a nice job by Reiner to come up with that loose ball on the face-off.
He's done a nice job tonight.
Gets it up to Higley. Ben looked down low, but then will come back outside as they'll get it to Roby Jorgensen. Jorgensen brings it ahead to Higley here near side, to Tilley. Then it's off to Higley. Ben back behind. He is so quick. Like a water bug out there. Yeah. Now to Tilley. Tilley's got a gap. He'll shoot, and it's a little wide to the left. And Wenatchee Valley will maintain possession, however, as they had a body closest to the end line as the ball on the shot goes across the end line. So it's Greg Coldy who will bring it up the far sideline to Reiner. Reiner, good idea there. He looked at wanting to pass it off to Jorgensen, but he wasn't open, so he keeps it. Has the ball stripped from him, but it comes near side. Dahlbeck had it, then lost it, and then the long stick for Southridge can't handle it, and the ball going out of bounds off of Southridge. Scrambling for it was Josh Hoytank, and he just couldn't corral it.
Yeah, Ben did a good job keeping him off the ball there, too, and the ball just rolled out of bounds.
Hoytank will drop back on defense. Here's Dahlbeck. Number 22 has it for Wenatchee Valley. He'll come between the hash marks. Looked at the left-handed shot. Instead, he'll feed to Coldy, and another goal for Gray. Call it number 6 on the night.
Double hat trick. That's a big night.
How about the night for Gray Coldy?
He couldn't resist that one, though. I mean, it was just wide open.
Absolutely.
It was a good feed, too.
So Coldy with the goal. It makes it a 15-6 contest. And that's one thing I'll say, too. When Southridge has scored, Wenatchee Valley has come just about right back and equaled that tally just about every single time tonight.
Yeah, well, they keep expanding that lead just a little bit, So, now up 9.
So 15-6 the score as they'll bring it out to midfield again for the faceoff. This time it's the big fella, Yuri Slutsky, out there for the faceoff for Southridge.
Colin Wheeler back in for Wenatchee. Sammy Arredondo on the other side over there, too.
And I believe it's Strom on the faceoff this time. Yes, it is. He's done a great job on those faceoffs here tonight. The double whistle again, and they're going to say it's Wenatchee Valley ball.
I think they called a hold on the other guy.
Yeah. Slutsky's been very physical here tonight. Wenatchee Valley ahead, and behind is Gray Coldy. Outside it comes to Higley. Higley further out, and
that's Wheeler.
That's Wheeler with it now. Now to Tilley. Tilley near to the end line. Defended closely by Jacob Hansen. He'll come out in front, and Wenatchee Valley was right there on the doorstep, but they just couldn't get it cleanly to the man. So coming up with the loose ball is Colin Wheeler. Wheeler will feed it off to Ben Higley. Higley will go a little bit high with a pass back there behind to Coldy. Coldy scooped at it, flipped it up in the air. Now it's still loose. Who's going to come up with it? It is Wenatchee Valley. Nice job by Strom. Jake comes up with it. Cross-field pass over, and then it got out of Tilley's net, but he's able to chase it down. Connor has it as the time winds down here with 1:21 to go in regulation. A shot taken and a stop made by Greenall. Greenall will feed it outside as they'll work it up the far sideline. Will Southridge. So Wenatchee Valley going to start off well here to the season and get their first victory in their opener. A little bit too high on the pass here. The ball trickling will not reach the end line, as it's under a minute to go, and with it is Gavin Kochel. He'll come outside to Brimbury. Brimbury directing traffic. Coach's son being the coach on the field right now. Spinning against the defense. Looking. Now we'll bring it back outside to Monson. Monson looked like he wanted to reach
put
up.
it in.
Oh, he got it in there. Yep. Took an awkward bounce, came up high on Robertson, and there will be a score for Southridge with 37 seconds left in the game.
That's his third goal. Like I said, he was a kid that scored a lot last year. I think he's a senior this year, so, he and Bromley most of the offense.
So that makes it a 15-7 contest with 37.7 or 4 seconds left here.
It's not a bad start for Wenatchee. They're going to have to play better than this if they really want to go deep into the playoffs also. And they can. I know they can.
Yeah, giving up 7 goals tonight. I'm sure Coach Barker won't be too thrilled about that one necessarily.
As long as they score 15, you'll probably be okay.
Yeah, 22 goals scored tonight. And we still have 37 seconds left, by the way, gang. So hold on. We might not be done yet. And it's Brimbury out there again along with Strom. Brimbury comes up with it, and here we go. Brimbury down the right sideline. He'll stop, hit the defender, and then throw it, hit the upright. Didn't go in. Jorgensen comes up with it for Wenatchee Valley, then lost it as his hand was trapped behind him, trying to come up with it, falling over. Let's see what they're going to call here. The ball goes out of bounds far side. It'll be Southridge ball.
But that was a tough shot. I'm surprised he got that off.
16.8 seconds left. 15-7 the score. And the ball far sideline. Way over there is Peyton Monson. He'll have it at the 45-yard line as they'll restart the game here once they get substitutions taken care of. Brimbury comes out of the game. Not too happy on the near sideline. And they whistle it in play with under 17 to go. So Monson again, he's got 3 goals on the night, maybe looking for his 4th right here.
I think he is.
He's stopping, turning, shooting, and a little bit high it goes across the end line. It'll be out to Southridge with 7.4 seconds left.
They've got time to get one more here.
So the ball coming in with one of the biggest guys on the field here for Southridge. In tight with the shot, missed it, and Wenatchee comes up with the ball and a shot the length of the field. And Wenatchee Valley will post the victory here tonight by a final of 15-7 over the Southridge Southridge, I should say. And how about the opening night of the season for Greg Cole?
Oh, what a great way to start the season for him. I mean, 6 goals, that just doesn't happen very often, for anybody. And it's nice to see that. I think their offense played pretty well. They just were a little unsettled at times. Defense played great.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wenatchee Valley goes 1-0 on the season. Southridge falls to 0-1. Next up for Wenatchee Valley, they'll be tomorrow on the road at Juanita in Kirkland for a game. And then we'll be back here again next Saturday at 1 o'clock as Wenatchee will host Hermiston. We're going to suspend with our post game because we have a concert coming up your way at 9 o'clock with the Concert in the Park series up at Omi Gardens. So, Rod, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks again for being here and joining us. And here we go again.
Yeah, it's fun. I'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Absolutely. Next Saturday we'll be here, and thanks to our crew here again tonight for helping us to bring the broadcast. Michael Price on camera along with Jessica Medina. We've got Becca Freemuth back in the studios for Rod Higley. I'm Eric Granstrom. Again, Wenatchee Valley off to a good start on the season. 22 goals total on the night between Wenatchee and Southridge, but the big lead on the scoreboard is the difference here as Wenatchee gets 15 goals on the night. And how about the night for Greg Coley? 6 goals, 2 hat tricks in the evening as the Wenatchee Valley Thunder get it 15-7. That's going to do it tonight. Thanks for watching. Have a great night and a great St. Patty's Day weekend. We'll see you again soon here on the NCW Life channel. Good night.
Thanks for watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. We now return to regular programming on your source for local sports, the NCW Life channel.